Have you ever walked away from a gig like this?
I'm alive!
Yeah, that was me after this gig. A small third floor venue, a 75 decibels noise limit, and a brand new singer that I met on the day. And oh yeah, I was the drummer and the sound engineer. Somehow, I survived. In this video, I'll tell you what went wrong, how I kept it together, and what I learned from this chaos. So stick around, maybe it'll remind you of a gig that you also barely survived. So yeah, that gig nearly broke me. But before I dive in further, welcome to Mixing Pixels, where we teach audio through video. And hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. It's free and it keeps this channel going. And now to what we're here for. If you've been in the music business long enough, playing different venues, playing with different musicians, then you've probably had one of those days where it seems that all the elements come together to make the perfect storm. Yeah, sometimes the sound of your mix is horrible. Sometimes you don't know the set well enough. Other times your gear fails. And other times it's just a bad day. But when several things happen at the same time, you can't help but feel a little bit of anxiety and wish it was over quickly. What I encountered in this gig felt like the perfect storm for me, and yet I had to deliver. Now, I've played my fair share of these nerve-wracking gigs, and in this one, no gear failed me, but it still felt like new heights of anxiety. So I'm going to divide this video into 3 parts. I will tell you what worked against me in this gig, what I did to overcome these obstacles, some things that I learned and will keep in mind for future perfect storms. Also, this is not a video to talk trash about the other musicians in the band. They are great people and great musicians, and we all try to make the best of this gig. Things that worked against me. Not only was it a small venue, it was on a 3rd floor surrounded by apartment buildings. They had a very strict noise limit, 75 decibels. Who came up with that number? No idea. And of course, the setlist was not soft jazz. We're talking Proud Mary, Mr. Brightside, and all the rock parade. I got hired for this gig about 9 months ago. Since then, the guitar player changed 4 times. By the time we played, I ended up with a guitarist that I had never worked with before. We had only 1 rehearsal for that gig, and I walked away from that rehearsal not really sure and confident about all the songs, especially the beginnings and endings. Now, I know a lot of cats who can play a wedding gig in their sleep, but I don't play those gigs regularly, so I didn't know the set perfectly. Also, every musician and singer plays and sings those songs differently, tempo, order, and arrangement wise. I was playing drums and I was the sound engineer as well. I don't really like doing that, but sometimes I have to. A company was hired to bring the PA and the DJ. We as the band had to bring our own mixer and our own instruments. Lastly, the week of the gig, the singer came down with a chest infection and couldn't do it at all. So they had to bring a brand new singer on the day. I must say the new singer, who also played guitar, was amazing. I could tell he's a pro and does these weddings probably 100 times a year. But with the change of singer also came a change on the set list. Order and arrangements changed quite a bit on the day. So yeah, that was the setup. A recipe for disaster. But here's what I actually did to survive the gig. What I did to overcome these obstacles. Although the 75 decibels seemed extreme and a bit ridiculous to me, I'm not the kind of drummer who will say, "Well, sucks to be you, I'm gonna bash on these drums like I was playing Madison Square Garden." If there is something that I'm good at as a drummer, it is that I know how to play for the room.
Wow.
It has taken me years, but I know how to do this. So from the get-go, knowing that the set was not a soft set, I played the rehearsal and the gig with hot rods. These are drumsticks that reduce the volume quite a lot without sacrificing a lot of your hits and dynamics as a drummer. Playing with a musician that you don't know could be an amazing experience or an awful one. In my case, it went well in the end. What I did was something that I always do in this kind of situation. I kept eye contact with the guitar player because he had to start pretty much all the songs, and this set was guitar driven. I was reading his body language to see where he was going with his solos and with the songs in general. This really helped me to make it through the gig. Since the set was not a set that I usually play, I did my homework. I listened to the songs and I made notes. Yeah. I have my own way of making these notes. They make sense to me, and that's what matters. You can do the same. I swear that the music police, the haters, won't take you to music prison for this. I also listen to the songs a lot. At home, driving, going for a walk, and so on. Playing drums and running the sound is not an easy task. I know it's not ideal. I don't recommend it, and I don't enjoy it.
Nope.
To make it easier, I brought my own sound rack that I know very well and where I have presets for each instrument, and I can control it with my iPad. But it's always a good idea to have a sound engineer. Keep that in mind when you're getting hired as a band so that you can budget for it. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So I ended up playing with not one musician I had never worked with, but with two, with the new singer. I kept my eyes open and my head high, reading his body language to follow him, even on songs that I've never played and songs that were not in the set list. Did I nail everything? Nah. Did I do my best? You bet. I even played Teenage Dirtbag on the drums for the first time. And just like that, the gig was done. Not perfect, but it was done. It was one of those nights that leaves you thinking and questioning your life decisions. But here's what I took away from it. What I learned and keep in mind for future perfect storms. The first thing that comes to mind is that maybe I shouldn't accept gigs where I have to be a musician and the sound engineer at the same time. I can do it, but I don't excel at both in that situation. I want to get hired for one or the other. Next time, I will be more assertive in rehearsal, especially about a song's start and ending. If those aren't solid, the gig will be shaky. Next time, I will bring some gear and record the rehearsal, even if it's not multitracks. That way, I could go back and listen to the songs and practice them the way we rehearsed them. We actually have a video where we teach you how to record your show or rehearsal using a digital mixer. Check it out here. I know I used a very simple drum kit for this gig. Hey, simple for me. But maybe next time I can make it even more simple. Maybe getting rid of this cymbal or this tom, and it would have been okay. Not out of laziness, but portability. In the end, it all went okay. Not great, but okay. It is of intrinsic importance to walk away from these gigs, regroup, and think, what can I do better next time? Make notes. Record yourself on audio or video. This will help you to become a better musician, a better sound engineer, and you will grow. So this is how I survived this particular gig. What has been your perfect storm gig? How did you survive it? Please let us know in the comments. And if you've never had a gig like this, wait. You just wait. And remember, great sound is always within your reach.